Yasss. Right at the end of 2024, we got some major news about the DCU. What's up, guys? Welcome to Comic Chronicles. Lobo, the last Czarnian, has just been confirmed for the DCU by none other than James Gunn himself. Jason Momoa, who's gonna be playing Lobo, also posted about it on his socials, and major Hollywood sites dropped the news just a few hours ago. Jason Momoa is set to play Lobo in the DCU. One of the most anticipated fan castings has finally been fulfilled, so stick around in this video while I spill all the details about this confirmation. Dude, James Gunn's DCU is totally crushing it. We're still vibing with Creature Commandos. The Superman trailer is now the most viewed trailer in DC and Warner history, and with that, more info about the next DCU movie, which will be Supergirl, is already popping up on the big news sites. This confirmation about Jason Momoa is seriously awesome, and if you're a DC fan and want to stay in the loop about all the news concerning James Gunn's new DC universe as they drop, you gotta subscribe to our channel. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you won't miss any updates about upcoming DC movies. Plus you'll always be well informed about comics, films, series, and animations. Thanks a ton, and let's dive into the video. So yeah, fam, the main man is among us. Lobo, the last Czarnian, has just been announced, but this confirmation is something that DC fans have been eagerly waiting for ever since James Gunn took over DC Studios. Jason Momoa himself mentioned he'd love to play Lobo back when the DCU was a thing, but back then he was Aquaman, and on top of that, Warner was under different management, so it was basically impossible. But when James Gunn came into DC Studios with Peter Safran, everything changed, cause James Gunn is a huge Lobo fan and he's a comic reader. In fact, last year, when DCU actors met with James Gunn to talk about the DCU, Jason Momoa posted a hype video after talking with him, and knowing that both Jason Momoa and James Gunn are big Lobo fans, it was almost certain something like this could happen. Lobo is the Deadpool-style character who would be an epic addition to the DCU. Honestly, he goes way beyond Deadpool, with his jokes, his whole vibe, and so much more. It's gonna be totally rad to see Jason Momoa's Lobo throwing down against David Corenswet's Superman. That would be insane to witness on the big screen. The word is that Lobo is set to show up in the next DC Studios film, which is Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. Even though Lobo isn't in the comic that's being adapted for this film, he's a character that would fit in really well, especially since it's a space road trip story for Supergirl. You can totally picture Lobo popping up in a scene at a bar, or even being one of the mercenaries hired by Krem of the Yellow Hills, the villain confirmed for the film and the antagonist from the comic. It actually makes more sense for Lobo to be in the Supergirl movie than in the Superman film. The Big Blue movie seems like it's going to be more grounded on Earth, and isn't looking to explore the space side of DC. On the other hand, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow promises to dive into that cosmic side of DC. Jason Momoa shared a screenshot on his Instagram from an old interview where he said the following: "So Lobo was. I collect comics, and I don't do so much anymore, but he was always my favorite, and I always wanted to play Lobo, because I'm like, hello? It's the perfect role," he said. I mean, listen. If they call and ask me to play him, it's AF. Yeah. I haven't received the call, so I don't want to spread any fake news, but if they ever call me and ask me to play or audition, I'm there. In the caption, the former Aquaman said they called him. Then James Gunn posted this pic of Lobo holding the American flag, confirming the info, plus Deadline also dropped the article. As of now, there aren't any details about the Supergirl movie's story, except the info from James Gunn that the film will adapt the award-winning comic, Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, by Tom King, Bill Squizevely, and Mateus Lopez. As for the cast, Millie Alcock, who was in House of the Dragon, will play Supergirl, while Matthias Schoenaerts will be the villain Krem of the Yellow Hill. And on top of that, Eve Ridley will be Ruthie Mary Knoll. These last two characters are straight from the story written by Tom King, and now we just have to wait for more details about the plot or maybe even some pics from the set. I gotta say, I'm super curious to see Supergirl's suit. Craig Gillespie will be directing the script written by Ana Nogueira. And for those who don't know Lobo, here's the deal: he's a mercenary born on the planet Czarnian, and he has super strength, super smell, a healing factor, immortality, the ability to travel in space without needing oxygen, with a space motorcycle, and so much more. He's gone toe-to-toe with Superman countless times, and those battles never really reach a conclusion. Now, let me ask you this, don't you think it'd be super cool to see that on the big screen? Are you hyped to see Jason Momoa as Lobo now? I'm totally stoked. Of course, I liked him as Aquaman, but Lobo is a role that fits him perfectly. I think it's gonna be epic. Feel free to drop your thoughts about this news in the comments, hit that sphere, and subscribe to our channel. Turn on notifications so you don't miss any updates on Marvel and DC, cause I'll be back soon with more news about the DCU. Thanks for hanging out, and see you next time.